What's up? Good morning, everyone. So I decided I'm going to do a quick video before I get ready for work. Just something that's been on my mind, and it's dealing with conflict. And I wanted to talk about it because one, I haven't done a motivational video in a minute, but secondly because I've been dealing with a lot of conflict in my life, particularly this year, but I would say like the last 3 months. And it's normal because we all deal with conflict, right? But the difference is that sometimes we all deal with conflict, but we don't know how to handle conflict. And that could be an issue, a really, really big issue. When you really don't know how to deal with conflict, it can be really, really stressful. And I just realized, like, when I was younger, when I dealt with when I faced like adversity or had conflicts in my life, I would either go to one extreme, pretty much not do anything and just like run, or do the most extreme things to like face the conflict. And the older I get, I realize that you have to change the way you respond to some situations. And in conflict, the older I get, I realize like you have to face conflict. You have to face your own shit. Whatever it is, regardless what you're dealing with, you're not going to always be able to say, all right, well, I'll get back to this later. Sometimes later doesn't exist. And sometimes we wait until it's too late. Please forgive my nails. I need a manicure so bad and haven't been able to get one. But we will like kind of, we try to avoid conflict. And me, instead of like avoiding conflict, I embrace it. I know it's coming. I've disclosed earlier this year that I really, really struggle with anxiety and depression. And not facing the conflict or dealing with it for me could be very, very, very stressful, to say the least. It will make me relapse in terms of my depression and my anxiety. And that's not a good thing. For those of you who may struggle with that, you probably understand what I'm saying. So my suggestion is when you're faced with adversity or conflicts, don't try to push the conflict away and think like it's not gonna be there, or you can get to it another time, because sometimes we wait too late and things just like, it's kind of like explode. Or it's like a metaphor that I give like to my clients, like if you're a bottle of Sprite or any soda, whatever, and you shake it, you just keep shaking it. And this is like in human terms, it's an adversity. It's just boiling up in you. It's just boiling. And eventually something, the soda, you're not going to just shake it forever and just not open it. You're going to twist the top off, and then bam, you got soda everywhere. You're wet. You're a mess. And that's the same with like conflict and your emotions. When you don't address it head on, you will you will explode. And so I'm like at a point in my life that where I have to like address conflict and adversity head on. And particularly, like I said to you guys, like this year has been like one of the, I'm saying God has been testing me, Jesus Christ, or I've been testing me, or someone has. I don't know if this is test Antoinette's year test, but anyway, instead of running from it, like I said earlier, I try to embrace it now. And I like to look for solutions, and sometimes, most times I like to look for immediate solutions, because I'm a possibility believer. Like I believe in possibilities, which means I believe there's always a solution to a problem. There's always exceptions to a problem. I'm not trying to sound like all therapists but it's the truth. There are times when the problem doesn't exist, and there are times when the problem has existed and you found a way to manage and get through the problem where it wasn't a problem anymore. And so for me, that's how I deal with conflict. I try to look back and I try to figure out another time in my life where I had a similar situation or I dealt with conflict, and try to figure out what solution I came up with. How did I manage to get through it? Or I try to think about a time in my life where the conflict didn't exist. What was happening in my life? What was I doing? How was I responding? And so I say all this to say, don't avoid conflict. The best way to get through it is to face it, to acknowledge it, and to conquer it. And a person like me who's like anxiety driven, stressed, gets depressed, like have to. So those of you who may have a child, a partner, a sibling, a family member who struggles with anxiety and depression, I think one way that you can help them along the way is to help them face conflict, because sometimes it's hard to do it by themselves. However, it's even harder when you're the one who's putting them in the situation, you know? Yeah, like if you have a family, if you have someone close to you who struggle with this, my advice is please don't, and especially if you're in the conflict with them, don't try to like avoid it and think it's going to work itself out, because sometimes not. I mean, it depends on who you ask. Some people think everything works itself out, but some people like me thinks that yes, some things work itself out, but not everything. So I'm like sort of kind of back. I'm like, I normally do my makeup and my hair in the car because I'm always late. Don't be like me. But I just wanted to like kind of brush on just a few more minutes about like conflict and trying to figure out conflict. Everyone handle conflict different. Some people like to talk about the conflict. Some people like just simply need to just maybe go to a therapist or a life coach to seek help, because you know conflicts come in many different shapes and forms. Work conflicts, relationship conflicts, school conflicts, interpersonal relationship conflicts, hell, family conflicts. And that's another reason the holidays coming up, y'all. The last thing you want to do is be like to go Thanksgiving and you didn't resolve a conflict from last year or something that happened throughout the year, and then you face to face with the person you had the conflict with, and next thing you know, potato salad and sweet potato pie going across the kitchen and the living room and stuff. I'm saying, like, small conflicts can really build up to big conflicts like that. I'm not even like being funny. They really can. It can really do that. When I have conflicts in my life, one thing I know about myself, the people around me suffer the most when my conflicts aren't resolved, and it's not fair. For me, it's one thing when it's a personal conflict, I can sort through that and I can manage that on my own. But I struggle when I have conflicts with other people and they want to like not deal with the shit because they just don't like dealing with the shit. It becomes a really big problem, and it affects my work and my school and like everything else. I don't know. I just, like I said, been thinking about it lately, because like I said, this year it's been a year for me. I'm not gonna lie. Like right now, I just feel like I wish I can go somewhere, to a place I've never been, whether it's an island, another state, a cabin, something by myself, and just kind of be to myself. Like, that's where I am at this point, because it's been one of those years for me. And through the ups and downs and through the conflicts and the adversity, I've been able to manage and wiggle out a lot, but I think solving them has been like the solution for me. I don't know why people think you can't solve problems, because the small conflicts is what really lead to the big conflicts and really get ugly. So I'm like, that's like if you see a piece of paper on your floor, are you gonna be like, oh, that's just a little piece of paper, that's like a little crumbs, I'm not gonna, like, it's okay, I'll get it another time? Are you gonna let that sit there, or are you gonna pick it up and sweep it up right then and there? Because eventually it'll become more crumbs or more dust or more papers just sitting on the floor. So like, don't avoid it. Like, if you could do something about it, do something about it. The year's almost over with. For me, it's important for me to get through the rest of this year, like facing everything. I don't want to go into a new year with shit. I don't even want to go into November with the same old shit. That's how much like I'm tired of problems. I'm tired of things. But like I said, I know life is life, right? We all encounter things, some more than other. I believe those who encounter things more than other are those who don't fix conflicts right then and there. Like those of you who just kind of like, oh, it's gonna work itself out, oh, it's gonna be okay. No, that's not always the case. It's really not. People have so many, every time they turn around, they like, shit, every time I turn around, there's something. Every time, because it was probably something you could have resolved that would have resolved future conflicts. Like, if you resolve stuff today and not put it all for the tomorrow or the future, I'm sure that you'll avoid at all costs different or other conflicts. But anyway, but if you want me to go into a more in-depth video about how I personally resolved some of the conflicts I dealt with this year, let me know. And I might just do a video on that, just talking about and disclosing some of the personal conflicts that I've had in terms of school, work, relationship, just all this shit that like really drove me crazy, but I'm like still standing because I'm the boss ass bitch. Anyway, I just feeling myself for a minute. If you want me to go in more details about like different conflicts or like any suggestions on how I would get through it, let me know, you know. Other than that, I'll see you all in my next video.